Thank you for clicking and watching. I want to go over HR 666, HR 6666, and Revelation and the Bill Gates vaccine, and try to cover some small things on the mark of the beast. This is just a slight overview. This isn't exactly what everything in depth. You can always go deeper, but I just want to give you a little run by. So let's start out with HR 666, which was done in 2017, which was part of Department of Homeland and Security's insider threat mitigation, which means people inside their organizations or some that affect. And one of the things is under right here, Under Secretary and Chief Security Officer to coordinate with the steering committee shall, and this is probably the more important part right here, is consult with the Undersecretary for Science and Technology and other shareholders or stakeholders, not shareholders, to ensure the insider program to inform by current information regarding threats, best practices, and available technologies, and develop, collect, and report metrics and effectiveness of DHS insider threat mitigation efforts. Now, they don't have like shareholders, it's stakeholders. And the stakeholders are, what are stakeholders? It is more or less organized groups of people that could be affected by the implications of a decision, and that can directly or indirectly influence the decision and its consequences. So the stakeholders are people that it affects. What I would relate to stakeholders is what most people would call deep state. So they want to push an organization to do things that are beneficial for themselves and what their plans are, and not for what the people's plans are. They start using the word stakeholders if you're into the stock market, you can follow that, and they use stakeholders instead of shareholders because they're not interested in what the shareholders want, it's what the stakeholders want. Such as, what if we come up with a technology that benefits the people, but it disadvantages those in power? Would they want to put that? No. So they would get rid of that advancement or hold it back until they could find a way for it to benefit themselves. So keep in mind when you read stakeholders are not shareholders. So, okay, so let's go to HR 66646s. And I like how that it's part of the Sarbanes sickness testing, research, and contacting everyone, or TRACE Act. And this is for contact tracing. The bill authorizes the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, to award grants for testing, contact tracing, monitoring, and other activities to address COVID-19, i.e. Sarbanes sickness. Entities such as federal qualified health centers, nonprofit organizations, and certain hospitals and schools are eligible to receive such grants. In awarding of the grants, the CDC shall prioritize applicants that operate in hotspots and medically underserved communities, and to agree to hire individuals in the community and grant their activities. But I like the fact that it's the CDC doing the awarding, not your government, not your local government, but the Centers for Disease Control. So they are going to take the money and disperse it as they need to operate. And this is, and I don't think it's any exaggeration that these bills, part of Homeland Security, part of contact tracing and testing, are all 666. And then we can go to, let's see, and the best one is the Bill Gates. And right here, Bill Gates has patent number 6060606 that he applied for, I believe, in May. Let's see if the date is here. Yes, 2018 was the priority. So a couple of years ago, he applied for the patent, and it is for human, and this is very interesting, human body activities associated with a task provided to a user may be used in a mining process of a cryptocurrency system. And I read over a lot of this, and cryptocurrencies, and I don't know, a lot of people are involved in cryptocurrencies and a lot of people are not involved in cryptocurrencies that don't understand, but the miners do a complicated program or a complicated basically test. So they're doing this question and they're answering it basically like a complicated math problem. And that math problem is now with the way this is written is you will be chipped and your biometric system and your energy will be used to do part of the mining system, so that it will read your heart rate, your brain activity, your breathing, and whatever other biometrics that they want to use. And that will be part of the mining process that will take energy out and use your energy to do purchases. And what's crazy is, you can't buy or sell without the mark. And here they already want to chip you, and Bill Gates is behind this. And of course, he's behind all the other inoculations and things that they want to put into your body, change your DNA or mRNA. So I just wanted to let you note that. And let's see if they got it was the cryptocurrency system communicatively coupled to the device of the user may verify if the body activity data satisfies one or more conditions set by the cryptocurrency system, and award cryptocurrency to the user whose body activity data is verified. And this is a fairly long, arduous thing to read, and it's very dull, but it is interesting that they are using your body system. They're using your body to do the calculations for the mining and mining energy and stuff around the world. And these miners is one of the things that they say they use too much energy, it costs too much, but now they're going to use your physical body to help do those calculations. And so these types of things tied to 666 is very astounding. And so most people don't know what the Bible has to say. So we want to go to Revelation 13. And in Revelation 13, we have right here, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand and in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So one of those three. And here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of man, and his number is 666. 666. So you can either, you are going to have one of the three. No man can buy or sell unless he have the mark, which is what is the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. And 666 happens to be the number of his name. Now, let's look up Luciferus. Luciferus. Bill Gates vaccine ingredients. Yes, Luciferus, Wikipedia. Here we go. Luciferus. Luciferus is a genetic term for a class of oxidative enzymes that produce bioluminescence, and is usually distinguished from a photoprotein. The name was first used by Raphael Du Bois, who invented the words luciferin and luciferase for the substrate of the enzyme. Respectively, both words are derived from the Latin word lucifer, meaning light bearer. Okay, now Luciferase is a genetic marker. It's a bioluminescent genetic marker, and it can be put into any inoculation that may be given. And once that is put into your body, you can't cut it out, you can't remove it. It is a mark. And I like how they use it. It is a bioluminescent marker. It's a marker. So there's the name of the beast, Lucifer. Lucifer can be put in, or it's under 666, or it could be the name of the beast, which don't know what his name is yet. So I just want to put that out there. So let's go back to Revelation 16. So in Revelation 16, we see what happens to those that take the mark. And let's just read it. The first angel went and poured out his bowl onto the land, and ugly, festering sores broke out on the people who had the mark of the beast and worshipped its image. Now, what would separate people that had the mark and didn't have the mark? Well, an injection would do that very well. It would do that very well. That means the sores break out on those that got the injection, and the sores didn't break out on those that didn't get the injection. So, I mean, to me, that's almost a direct tie. So let's go back to Revelation 11. Where was it? Revelation 11. And that is 11:18. And we're going to read, and Revelation 11:18, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, and they should be judged, and that thou shouldst give reward unto the servants, the prophets, and the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroyed the earth. Now, right now, we have so many things going on with the chemtrails and all the heavy metals and engineering and geoengineering that they are spraying. And geoengineeringwatch.org is a great site for people to get a lot of good information. They've been spraying, and usually they spray over around California area because the natural winds carry all the heavy metals across the United States. And they've been poisoning our food system. They've been trying to block out the sun. They're modifying and making it snow in areas that it shouldn't snow, and crazy temperature changes, and they blame it on global warming. But yet they're trying to modify the planet, and they are killing off species with all these heavy metals, and the poisons are in your food. Even if you grow them in your own yard, these aluminums, these other chemicals that they're spraying are ending up in the food source because they're ending up in your land. And another one, Bill Gates owns more farmland than anybody, just to keep that in mind. And I hope you enjoyed this little quick check over. I didn't want to take a lot of time, but I just wanted to point out there is things, and I wish people would read the Bible for themselves and pray that God opens their eyes and that you're not deceived, because all the data and information out there is a deception. Everything is a deception. You almost can't believe anything. You'd have to even be suspicious of anything I'm saying. So, take your best, trust in the Lord, and God bless. And we